You walk into a room where your team is complaining about too many meetings in Scrum. Sound familiar? Here's the thing most teams don't realize. Those 4 Scrum events aren't extra meetings at all. They are actually designed to eliminate all the randoms, interruptions, status updates, and coordination chaos that normally kills products and projects. These events create the transparency, inspection, and adaptation that make Scrum work effectively. But there's a specific way each event needs to work, and most teams are missing the key details that make the difference. Each event solves a distinct coordination problem that teams face naturally. The real issue isn't the number of meetings your team thinks they are adding. In this video, I will show you the exact steps for the meeting foundation in Scrum. The real problem: why teams think Scrum has too many meetings. The problem starts with how teams experience their current coordination challenges. Picture your typical workday filled with unplanned Slacks, pings, asking for status updates, impromptu planning sessions called because nobody planned ahead properly, and crisis meetings when deadlines approach. When Scrum gets introduced, it looks like you're adding sprint planning and daily Scrum, sprint review, and sprint retrospective on top of everything else. Your team sees 4 new calendar invites and thinks the meeting madness just got worse. This reaction makes perfect sense because nobody explains what these events actually replace. Here's the hidden truth most organizations miss completely. These 4 events are actually designed to replace all those chaotic, unplanned interruptions that eat up your day. Think of it like replacing random phone calls with scheduled appointments. Instead of constant disruptions, you get predictable times for coordination. The Scrum Guide establishes specific time boxes for each event. Sprint planning gets up to 8 hours for a 1-month sprint. Daily Scrum takes exactly 15 minutes each, and reviews and retrospectives has their own defined limits. These structured timeframes replace the endless unplanned status updates and crisis meetings that typically consume much more time without clear outcomes. Each Scrum event solves a specific coordination problem that teams face naturally. You need to plan work, stay aligned during execution, get feedback on results, and improve your processes. Every team does these activities whether they follow Scrum or not. But here's where most teams go wrong. They treat these events like traditional meetings instead of understanding their unique purpose. Your team's complaints about too many meetings actually reveal they haven't experienced the true power of structured Scrum event yet. In Scrum, we replace these distractions with 4 purpose-built events. When done correctly, these events create a rhythm that eliminates meetings, chaos, and gives your team predictability, time for deep, focused work. You know exactly when coordination happens and when you can concentrate on actual development tasks. The 4 events that replace meeting chaos. Let's break down exactly how each event tackles a specific coordination problem your team faces every day. Sprint planning solves the problem of unclear priorities and scope creep, delivers a shared commitment to specific goals, and benefit your team by preventing surprise requirements mid-sprint. The Scrum Guide structures this around 3 key topics: why this sprint is valuable, what can be done during the sprint, and how the chosen work will be accomplished. Your entire team sits together and agrees on exactly what success looks like. The product owner explains why this sprint matters and which product backlog items align with your product goal. Developers figure out how they actually build these features. Daily Scrum solves the problem of constant status interruptions, delivers one predictable 15-minute sync point for developers only, and benefits your team by surfacing problems immediately rather than letting them fester for weeks. Instead of random Slack messages asking, "Where are we on this?" your developers inspect progress towards the sprint goal and adapt the plan for the next day at the same time and place every day. Sprint Review solves the problem of building the wrong features and delivers regular feedback loops through a working session where the Scrum team and stakeholders collaborate on next steps, and benefits your team by keeping the product aligned with stakeholder needs. Your team presents actual results to key stakeholders, not just status reports. The product backlog gets adjusted based on this feedback. Sprint retrospectives solves the problem of repeating mistakes, delivers dedicated time to plan specific improvements, and benefits your team by building continuous improvement into the process. Your team examines the last sprint, looking at people, processes, tools, and your definition of done. Most importantly, you identify the most impactful improvements and address them as soon as possible, potentially adding them to the next sprint backlog. Product backlog refinement happens continuously as an ongoing activity, ensuring your sprint planning meetings stay effective because the work is already broken down and understood. When these events work together, they replace coordination chaos with a predictable system. The real transformation happens when you understand how these events support Scrum's empirical pillars. Sprint planning creates transparency around goals and capacity. Daily Scrum enables inspection of progress and adaptation of daily plans. Sprint Review inspects the product increment with stakeholders. Sprint Retrospective inspects the process itself and adapts team practices. Each event reinforces transparency, inspection, and adaptation in different ways. Here's your next step. Reflect on your last sprint and consider which event your team might optimize first. Maybe your sprint planning lacks clear commitment, or your daily Scrum turns into status reports instead of coordination sessions. Master these 4 events and you will transform your team from meeting overwhelmed to delivery focused. Your team will thank you for giving team predictable coordination times and uninterrupted work periods. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more concise Scrum insights.